Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the recent discussion that is going on around the field of artificial intelligence, especially after the DeepSeek has stated that it has developed its own artificial intelligence at a fraction of cost as compared to the OpenAI's ChatGPT platform. So in this context, we also try to understand that where does India stand, what are the challenges and opportunity the country need to face in the frontier of artificial intelligence and whether it is suitably placed or not. So first of all, to give you the brief background, we know that recently DeepSeek, a Chinese company that was founded in 2023 by Liang Wenfeng, who was a young engineer, entrepreneur and a brain behind algorithm training, he has launched its first generative AI large language model, DeepSeek R1 as it is referred as. Now, generative AI refers to a subsector or subset of artificial intelligence where the artificial intelligence can generate new videos, new stories, new text, new photograph based on the input provided by the humans. Similarly, the large language model is basically a model on which the AI system is trained upon, and this model by using different ways and basically allows or enhances the capability of the artificial intelligence to either process, understand and help in contextualizing and generating the human language. So both generative AI and LLM are interlinked with each other. Now within a week time, if we talk about the United States itself, it has become the most downloadable app in the US, leaving behind the Chat GPT that was launched by the OpenAI. Now because of this also it has sent shudder down the spine of stock market, where the Nvidia shares saw a sudden collapse of by 16% within a single day. And also it has triggered debate not only within US and China, but across all the countries who are interested in the domain and the sphere of artificial intelligence. So the disruptive model, the pace and capability of the DeepSeek we talk about at a fraction of the infrastructure cost, now it has also challenged the US supremacy and hegemony as far as the AI frontier is concerned. Now, the development of DeepSeek, though it is by a private company, Chinese government also has shown a strong interest in it. And the example or evidence of this we can see from the fact that the founder of DeepSeek was invited to a dinner where the Chinese Premier Li Qiang was also in attendance. So it basically is also giving rise to what we can call as the US-China rivalry in the frontier of AI. Till now, even though we talk about the China, which is having the largest reserve of rare earth minerals, the US has been able to enjoy the dominant force, a supremacy in the AI research and development, because obviously due to the ecosystem it has created over a long period of time, whether it is the world-class university, whether it is the tech giants working there, such as Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Nvidia, as well as the venture capital ecosystem that fostered the innovation in the American human capital. Now, however, China's concerted effort to develop and become a global AI leader by 2030 have narrowed the gap, and this also is accepted by many of the organizations where they say that the gap in the AI frontier between US and China is much lesser or much lower than the gap between these two countries with the rest of the world. So that is how we can understand that China is trying to fill this gap as fast as possible, and this also aligns with Beijing's objective where it wants to achieve a self-reliance in the critical technologies, as well as it also want to reduce its dependency on the Western import, obviously because we know that US and China do not see eye to eye with each other. They consider themselves as a rival. So obviously they do not take decisions that are in the best interest of each other. So the self-dependency is something that China has been putting forward, and this is the development of DeepSeek is one step in that particular direction. Now, talk about the generative AI. Many experts or domain experts argue that it is not only a technological frontier, rather in the coming time it is going to be a geopolitical background. That is why the DeepSeek's revolution is being considered or being equated to the Sputnik movement that began by the Soviet Union when it launched the first man-made satellite in the space by the name of Sputnik. So after that, we see the evolution of a geopolitical rivalry between the US and USSR that also finally culminated in a Cold War. Now, similar kind of battleground we can see taking shape in the near future between the US and China. The ability to develop and control foundational models confers significant economic and strategic advantage. For example, today it is believed that now US and China are the two major superpowers, and the AI race now is largely going to become bipolar rather than multipolar in nature. And when the AI race become bipolar, it means it is these two countries which are largely going to shape the global standard. It is these two countries which are going to have influence on the international norms and laws around the control of the AI and the use and development of the AI, and also competitive edge in the industries ranging from defense to healthcare we can see in these countries. Obviously we are assuming that other countries, if they are not able to catch up with those countries, now obviously that speculation can be false as well. Now, as far as the opportunity for India is concerned, there are a lot of challenges and there are a lot of opportunities. For example, we talk about the AI expertise and resources in few countries. It also can be said that India can face a problem here, because if the AI expertise and resources are concentrated in the hand of few countries, in this case, for example, US and China, obviously it can lead to a development of new form of technological colonialism, where a smaller nation will become fully dependent on the foreign AI system, whether it is the hardware or whether it is the software. On the other hand, we talk about if the countries such as India, European countries such as France, which also have shown a lot of interest in the area of AI, if they're able to come together, if they're able to ally with US also, for example, and develop their own sovereign AI, in that case, we can see the democratization of artificial intelligence tool that will offer a pathway for countries to build their own capabilities and assert their sovereignty in the digital age. So India, France, and many other European countries are in the favor of sovereign AI rather than AI that is being largely controlled by few countries, or in this term superpowers. So where does India stand as far as the AI race itself is concerned? Now we know that India has an advantage of a thriving tech industry, and it has a vast pool of engineering talent. So in both in terms of also human resources we talk about, we have well developed, well groomed human resources. We are on the verge of reaping our demographic dividend, and if we are able to train our talent pool in this area. So despite these strengths of having a tech industry, tech ecosystem, engineering talent, India is lagging behind in developing foundational model for artificial intelligence. At least that is what we have seen in last couple of years. Now, in this area, there are a lot of steps India can take, but there are certain challenges also that India had to face through. For example, if we talk about the AI startups and enterprises which are working and which have developed, come up in the last few years in India, they are heavily reliant on the foreign LLMs. LLMs we have discussed before is the large language model that limit the ability of these startups and ecosystem to innovate and cater to the local needs. Now, in this regard also, the recent change in the export policy by United States, where it has put a restriction on the export of GPU, that is graphic processing unit, that also has put a, we can say, spanner in the effort of India to purchase 10,000 GPUs, and it is still together steep. If we are able to indeed process and purchase 10,000 GPUs, it will have a lot of users, especially if we talk about India. The large focus is in the healthcare system, healthcare delivery system, in the area of improvement of the crop yields and enhanced access to the personalized education. So in these spheres, that is where India's focus currently lies. Now, if we talk about the need of the hour, so if you look at the need of the hour, India can take 4-5 major steps. These are, for example, India can begin investing in the foundational models. And it is not only because India want to be in race for the AI, it is not just a matter of national prestige, rather it makes economic sense. And not only it makes economic sense, rather in today's world, it is an economic imperative. India cannot afford to lose the chance that it has now. So as far as the generative AI is concerned, now first of all, it can have a promising effect on the national economy as well, as it is believed that generative AI has potential to add trillions of dollars to the global economy, and India cannot afford to be a passive consumer in this case. Now, apart from this also, why we are talking about that we should focus on developing our own foundational LM, because you know that India is linguistically a very diverse country. It is the country which is having the second highest number of languages in the entire world after Papua New Guinea. And also, if we talk about the major languages, 22 languages are the scheduled languages that has been recognized by the government of India itself. So the diverse linguistic landscape is providing a compelling huge case for India to have a localized AI models that can be generated in the case of all the regional languages, or for the all the regional languages for that matter. Now, the foundational matters will address the domestic need, and not only that, it will also create export opportunities in the other multilingual region where India can also take a lead in that area. So, four major strategy that India can adopt to not be left behind in the race for AI. These are, first of all, the strategy cannot be focused on any one area. It should be multi-pronged in nature. India should focus its effort in different direction. The first is in the terms of funding, because if you compare US, China, and India, still the government's funding for the AI research and development is minuscule in India, and that is something that we have to increase, and not only increase but increase at a rapid rate. So, for example, the national AI strategy that the government of India has recently announced, and also it has announced the establishment of AI research center, are a welcome step in this direction, but much more effort is required here. Second, apart from funding for the research and development, India should also boost its infrastructure to support the AI innovation. And in this context, the high performance computing resources, cloud infrastructure, and data sharing framework are something where we can start our work with or begin with. Apart from this, there should be a culture, as we have talked about, that why US was a leader or has remained a leader in AI. The reason is because they have developed an ecosystem where they have focused upon fostering a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship, especially in the sphere of AI. Now, this is something that has to be replicated in the case of India as well, because it need basically a development of such kind of mindset among the students, among the youth population, who are not shying away from experimentation and risk taking. And this is something that is present in the Indian youth, because you know that once the startup culture began to take root and shape in India, we see growth of so many successful startups, even to the extent of becoming a unicorn. A similar kind of success story we can also see taking place in the sector of AI as well. So the overall organization of AI hackathons, startup incubators, and partnership between both the industries and academia, the collaboration between them can be a welcome start in this sphere. And last we can talk about is obviously a lot of work need to be done by the Indian tech giant, Indian software hardware companies as well, where they should pursue the large language model development, as India has access to better GPUs and interconnects compared to China. Because even if you talk about the US export control in the AI sector, the China is being restricted, or the access to the China has been restricted to a greater extent than in the case of India. So that is where it has advantage. Plus, both government of India and US government has collaborated in the ISET initiative, which overall emphasizes upon the comprehensive tech cooperation between the organizations of both the countries. So these are the situation for which to which India should be concerned about and take advantage of. Now, in conclusion, what we can see that the DeepSeek rise that we have seen in the recent time is a testament to the transformative power of generative AI and the shifting dynamics in the global AI landscape. That means we can very well see in the near future that China can not only give stiff competition to the US AI sector, but even can become and surpass US to become the leader in the AI. And similar thing can be done by India as well. So also the other advantages, that as DeepSeek has claimed that it has developed its model at a fraction of cost as compared to OpenAI system, and also it is an open source system. So there is a scope to test and validate whether the model that DeepSeek has developed can be repeated at reasonable cost. And obviously you have to factor in concerns about the bias, obviously, because China, we know that it is not a completely we can say a free democratic country. Rather, there is a lot of control exercised by the government. There is authoritarian, there is a we can say tinge of authoritarianism in the overall development and control of China. So what kind of bias the model has, the privacy rights we talk about, and the misuse of this model, we have to take that into consideration as well. But obviously it is a very good place where India can look at all the models being developed by US and China, and then try to come up with its own novel, innovative foundational solution. So that is all about this particular video. I hope you understood that why we are talking about AI so much, what has changed in the recent times, and where India today stands as far as the AI, global AI race is concerned. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more such content. Thank you very much.